Parents should never have to fear their child ending their life because kids are being mean to them.
Dozens of parents are angry about what they say is a bad bullying problem at an East Tennessee middle school. This all started with this post in the Facebook group Maryville Speaks Out. One mom posting, "Does anyone on here know how to get to the bottom of a bullying issue at Heritage Middle School?"
Well, her questions garnered nearly 150 comments, many saying their kids were also bullied at that same school. WBIR 10 News reporter Shannon Smith sat down with a parent who the school says the school isn't doing enough. Shannon.
But you can tell reading those comments that these parents want an end to bullying, not just at Heritage Middle, but everywhere. And I talked with one mom who says the school could be helping more, but so could the parents.
Samantha Thomas has an 8th grader at Heritage Middle School.
It's a little bit nerdy, I guess, would be the stereotype that she's given.
Thomas says her daughter first experienced bullying in 6th grade.
It was more so your typical stuff that happens to every kid, you know, oh, you have glasses.
But in just 2 years, things have gotten much worse.
It's kind of progressed to like them pushing her in lockers and saying really nasty things to her.
Things like this, taken from a conversation Thomas saw on her daughter's phone.
She's had some kids tell her that she needs to hurt herself or that she should kill herself.
Thomas was furious. She says she talked to the school SRO, but nothing has been done. Dozens of other parents echoed similar stories, saying school administration didn't help their kids either. But Blount County Schools says they take bullying prevention very seriously. In a statement, they say in part, quote, "It is the policy of the Blount County school system that all students be provided a safe learning environment. We take reports of bullying seriously and ask students to report incidents immediately."
I think that it's deeper than just a school. Like, I think this goes back to homes. It goes back to their families, their parents.
Thomas says her child isn't perfect.
Has she said some things that I was kind of disappointed in? Absolutely.
But no 13-year-old should be bullied to the point of considering self-harm.
Now, Blount County Schools also says all administrators, teachers, and students are required to participate in yearly bullying prevention training. Thomas hopes they can do even more than that to help all the kids who are victims of or could become victims of bullying. Robin, Brandon.
All right, a very serious topic, Shannon. Thank you very much.